Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm Mark Bradberry. Please grab a cup and join me this morning. Hey, I grew up out in the country, but not really on a farm or anything. Now, my dad liked to plant a large garden, and so we usually had, tomatoes and cucumbers and okra and, things of that nature, but we never had any animals. We didn't try to raise animals other than, of course, we had cats and dogs and things like that. And then there was that one ill-fated time in which we had, I think, some geese. God rest their souls. But we never kept any real animals. Certainly never anything like pigs. No, never did pigs. Most of my firsthand relationship with pigs really was gained by the close association of sausage with 2 eggs over medium, grits, and toast. But my rural upbringing did give me a little bit of exposure to them. I've been on a farm or two, and I've seen, swine at the county fair, and, did have some friends who had raised them as FFA members, Pigs have been domesticated by mankind for 9,000 years, it's been said. Surprisingly, you may not realize this, they're not native to North America, but they were rather brought over from Europe and Asia. They have coarse bristles for hair, and they're not slow. They actually are quick-footed and very intelligent creatures. Yeah, you might not do that. To call someone a stupid pig is really a bit of a misnomer, because pigs are not unintelligent. Pigs will eat just about anything, and they are not above taking a bite from the hand that feeds them. But there's one characteristic of pigs, hogs, swine, whatever it is you want to call them, that is very mumuch true and with which everyone is undeniably familiar. Pigs like mud. Yeah, no, let's put that another way. They don't just like mud, they love it. They just forget anything that you may have learned about pigs from Hollywood, whether it was Babe or Wilbur or Arnold or Piglet. They're not necessarily representative of the species. Pigs simply don't care about cleanliness, But here's some truth about pigs. You can take an old pig and you can scrub it pink with ivory soap until it gleams. You can dry that swine with towels from the Ritz-Carlton. You could douse that portly piggy liberally with the best perfume. You could put a diamond necklace around its fat neck, and even you could tie a red silk ribbon to its tail. You could dress that pig in one of Ralph Lauren's best fashion designs. You could even make that pig a movie star and give it an Academy Award. But if you give that squeaky clean, diamond-wearing, sweet-smelling, high-class, Oscar-winning pig a half a chance, it will head straight for the nearest mud hole, diamonds and all. After all, there's nothing like a good wallow in the mud. Now, believe it or not, the Bible actually has a thing or two to say about this sort of thing. Now, judge for yourself what you think about this that came from the pen of the Apostle Peter. He said, "Of them, the proverbs are true. A dog returns to its vomit, and a sow that is washed goes back to her wallowing in the mud." Who's the them? Well, the point of Peter's comparison here is very simple in context. We Christians sometimes engage in our own bit of mud wallowing. You see, we've been bought with a price, cleansed by the blood, given a new nature, and yet we always have that temptation to go back where we came from, to go right back to that filthy muck that we left behind in our life. The result? Well, it's practical failure, it's depression, it's frustration, discouragement. You see, you cannot maintain a lifestyle that is filled with joy and purity if you keep going back to do things the same old way. No, my friend, look, how many times have you been lifted from your old ways only to go right back into it at the first sign of difficulty? At what point will you simply acknowledge the mud that you're in, gaze upward toward heaven, reach out to the hand of God, and recognize that God did not intend for you to live in the mud? You know, God's hand is outstretched to pull you up, to refresh you, to renew you. Reach out, grasp it, and leave the mud behind. Because, my friend, this one thing is true: you are not a pig. You don't have to live in the mud. You are a child of God. Enjoy your coffee.